let's spill the tea on this one. Basically, a gentleman got a lot more than he bargained for. Ordering from Starbucks in the drive-thru, he had a tray of three hot teas, and we actually have the video, and we're gonna watch it. So, have y'all seen the video yet?
I have not.
Oh, okay, great. So we're actually gonna watch the video, and basically what happens is that he gets his order, and one of the teas spills in his lap, which resulted in major damage to his genital area, as well as like his inner thighs, his groin and thighs, and so he sued Starbucks.
Yeah.
Probably because he was like, wait, that lady got away with that McDonald's. I might have a case here, so let's take a look.
But so she's reaching out across the thing with the trace. Yeah, I think that one of the allegations here is that she improperly placed the cup and didn't put it all the way in. You can see it kind of just teetering. They're wobbling, and the top not being on correctly.
Which those tops are a pain anyway, right?
That's part of the negligence in this case is the way in which she actually handed it to him,
packaged
it was supposed to be, in that secured, and the top was supposed to be on good, and had the top been on good, had it been in the cup holder the way it was supposed to, it would not have fallen on him. So that's the negligence in this case. And
I was gonna say, have you? So the part of the video too, though, where it shows like, so she's handed it to him. You can't really see. Like, if you've seen the video, like
I've seen it.
You can't really see what happens except that his car takes off.
Yeah.
And so my first viewing of it, I went, well, maybe he made the tea fall over, right?
No. You can see that it falls. As he's just trying to transfer it. And I think this is actually a DoorDash order. Like he's delivering this.
Yeah, that's right. He's a delivery guy.
Right. He's a delivery person, and this is a young man. And before you get mad about that $50 million amount, you have to consider, like, for all the guys out there, would you trade places with him? Okay, this coffee or this tea that spilled in his lap, on average, is served people serve it between 120 and 140 degrees.
Yeah.
A lot of times they make it a lot hotter, especially if it's freshly brewed right then, because they want, and this happened in the McDonald's case, they want the coffee to still be at that ideal temperature, 120 to 140. That's where most people drink it, and that's where most people like it. By the time it arrives, they want it to still be hot, and so they make it extra hot. The problem is at 140 degrees, that tea only has to stay on your skin for a couple of seconds before you get third-degree burns, and that's what happened here. He had third-degree burns and had to have skin grafts, and had nerve damage to his genitals and thighs. And this is, like I said, a young man that's got to live the rest of his life with all these injuries, and significant injury.
So wait, did you say already how much?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. So how much does Starbucks make a day?
So Starbucks, and this is something that happened again in the McDonald's trial. In the McDonald's trial, they had a verdict, got a verdict for $2.7 million, which just so happened to turn out to be the profit that McDonald's makes on a cup of coffee worldwide every day. And Starbucks, it turns out, makes about 99 million or 100 million every single day in revenue. And so a jury a lot of times will do what they call symbolic retribution. If they feel like they harmed somebody like this, at least they go back and they look at what would actually not necessarily harm, but punish or award some form of symbolic justice to the actual plaintiff by taking something significant from the defendant. And in this case, the defendant is a billion-dollar company. And so in order to take something significant from them, you have to award something pretty significant. And I honestly would not trade places with this guy for $50 million. And there's not a lot of guys out there that would, I don't think. So before you criticize that number, no one understands that he's going to have to live with this the rest of his life. He's disfigured, and like I said, he's a young man, and so he's got a lot of years of his life to live with it.
Well, and so this case is similar, like I said, to the McDonald's case. There's a lot of differences. The damages are very similar. That's where the similarities really end,
and how the injuries
and how the injury occurred. But the reason that McDonald, like you said, I think you said it was 2.7 million was the verdict, but they got a punitive damage of 100, 200 million. I forget the number.
What
but
is
a huge
punitive
number.
damage?
Punishment. And so Starbucks didn't get punished, didn't have the punitive. The reason that McDonald's had it, you were talking about the heat of the coffee. McDonald's had all these complaints and all these
over 700 complaints of it being too hot.
Right, and
Before it happened,
and they had internal notes, knowing people were getting hurt,
Burnt,
knowing that the coffee was way too, and they kept it at 180 to 190. And the reason they did it was not because people like to drink it that way, it's because they could leave it and wouldn't have to throw it away. It keeps the coffee fresh for longer.
Right, keeps it.
And so they were trained to do this. That McDonald's, the corporation,
then people could actually drink it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so McDonald's employees were trained to do this, where in the Starbucks case, it's completely
trained
different.
to put you in danger.
They were.
Yeah.
I didn't do the discovery in the case, obviously, but as a premise liability lawyer, I'm going to look at what the training was, and then they follow up on that training, and did employees do what they were trained to do?
Right.
Here, they're not training them to take the coffee and make it worse and hotter and more dangerous. They're not training them to make the top of the coffee not right. So they're not trying. The verdict isn't a punishment. It's a symbolic punishment, but it's not. They weren't mad at Starbucks. It seems like they were going, "Hey, this is what seems fair." In the McDonald's case,
like it happened,
Right.
In the McDonald's case, it was
an intentional choice.
Pissed. And the jury was pissed. Like the woman didn't get a whole lot. But the punitive damage was enormous.
Gotcha.
And because of that, guess what? McDonald's doesn't do that anymore.
That's right.
Yeah, and my mother will tell you that the coffee's not as good anymore.